Hey guys, welcome back. So we have an exciting video to go over today, guys. Pokemon Go, they just released a new move set, move update. We actually now have new updates in regards to new attacks. Legacy moves actually returning, which that is going to be huge, personally, for me, for a lot of people. And a lot more to come in regards to this update here. So we have a lot to go over, guys. So we have new moves have been added. Some Pokemon have just been buffed. There's some stuff that's been nerfed, which we're gonna go ahead and go over all that in this video today. So before we go there, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. This just went live about an hour ago, which currently right now you're able to TM these new moves and all this crazy stuff onto your Pokemon. So keep that in mind. So with that being said, let's go ahead and go into this. So, trainers, in this special community note, we're excited to share some more details on Go Battle League, upcoming changes to the combat system, attacks that some Pokemon will be able to learn in Pokemon Go for the first time, and some familiar attacks certain Pokemon will be able to learn once again, aka Legacy moves. So if you guys don't know what a legacy attack is, legacy is basically when a Pokemon, in the first couple of years of this game first being out, they never had access to these moves before prior. But now there are some Pokemon that are now going to be able to access these moves once again, which, of course, this is going to be pretty exciting for sure. So, and then they go in and talk about a Go Battle League preview. So we're going to have a new league that's going to be starting up pretty soon as well. So there's going to be a lot of fun stuff to look forward to. So I'm really excited for that. So let's go. So let's go ahead and go into it. So first off, we got Pokemon Go Battle League. It will be a triathlon style contest. So we have leagues, seasons, ranks, rules, and more. So here we go. So battles will take place in all three leagues. Great League, Ultra, and Master League. However, only one league will be available at a time, and they will all rotate throughout a season. That means that in order for it to be the best, you need to be able to win in all three formats. So there you go, guys. We got some pretty cool stuff there. As you win battles throughout the season, your rank will increase, even as Go Battle League rotates between leagues. You will start at rank 1 and work your way up to the top rank, rank 10. Once you reach a new rank, you cannot drop below it for the rest of the season. Higher ranks mean better rewards. So, you'll be able to get some rewards upon ranking up. So, that's pretty cool. So, that's going to be exciting. So, I wonder how the battles are going to be looking like for sure. So, it's going to be pretty exciting. This is pretty exciting stuff for sure. But we're just getting started, guys. So, don't get too excited yet. Once you reach rank 10, measure against the best with your battle rating. When increase your battle rating, while losses will cause it to drop. So there you go. So once you reach rank 10, it looks like once you reach rank 10, you'll be able to battle against other people, the top players, and the more losses you get, your rank will go down basically. So that's how it works. So you cannot use 2 or more of the same species of Pokemon on your team. So there you go, guys. You cannot use more than 1 Mewtwo, for those of you who are curious. So yeah. So now let's go ahead and get into it. So I'll continue. So as we get closer to the release of Go Battle League in early 2020, you can look forward to more information on how Go Battle League works. So this Go Battle League is going to be beginning early of this year coming up. So stay tuned for that. Pretty exciting stuff. And then we have updates to the combat system. So we have some new updates that are currently live right now as we speak. So first off, when 2 Pokemon use charge attacks at the exact same time, the Pokemon with the higher attack stat will go first. If 2 Pokemon have the same attack stat, a random Pokemon will go first. We want to ensure charge attack ties are broken fairly. Restrictions in Great and Ultra League currently put on a focus on trying to get low attack Pokemon to maximize CP. While maximizing defense and HP is a great strategy against most opponents, in close matchups, the attack set can now become a deciding factor. We hope this will help deepen team building. So basically, guys, if you and your opponent happen to both get off a charge move at the precise same time, now the attack is going to matter in terms of getting off your charge move. So basically, if you both, let's say for example, you both are going, let's say it's a Swampert mirror match, for example. Whoever has the higher attack IV, or rather, the attack IV, then the other will actually get their charge move off first. So like, let's say for example, I have a 15 IV attack Swampert, and let's say my opponent has a 14 attack IV Swampert. from what I understand, I believe I will be able to get my charge attack off first because I have an attack IV of 15. Now, if I was to have a 14 attack IV and we both had the 14 IV attack IV, sorry, on our Swamperts, then it would be basically a speed tie as to who's going to get off their charge move. So it's gonna be determined by luck basically in that regards. So in case you guys are curious how that works, so I think that's pretty cool. So now the attack IV is going to actually matter a lot more now. So keep that in mind. So now, switching Pokemon now clears any changes to its attacks and defense stats. As more attacks are added to the game that affect attack and defense, we want to ensure these effects have clear counterplay opportunities. Debuffs should encourage players to switch Pokemon, and buffs should make switching less appealing. There's more to consider now when to use these attacks and when to switch Pokemon. So that's cool. So back then when when attack buffs were actually like debuffs or buffs were actually added to your Pokemon, they would actually stay. Now they actually go away upon switching out. So that's pretty cool. So really curious to see how that's gonna make the battles work for sure. So now let's get on to the exciting stuff here. So updates to existing attacks in Pokemon Go. So these are attacks that are actually currently in the game right now that have been updated. So whether they got nerfed or whether they got buffed is where we're gonna go ahead and talk about this indeed for the most part. So let's get into it. So first off, these are the attacks that have gotten updates. So Night Slash has been updated. Its energy requirement has been reduced in trainer battles, and it now has a chance to greatly increase the user's attack set. So you have a chance with Night Slash now to actually go to +2 on attack. So that's pretty cool. So, or unless it might go by +1, +2. I'm not sure exactly how that's gonna work, but that's pretty cool. So Night Slash will actually have a chance to increase an attack, your own attack. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Icy Wind. This move now decreases your opponent's attack stat when used. So that's pretty cool. So Icy Wind is now going to be able to have some good use in PvP now. So that's going to be pretty useful for sure, especially on those ice types that only have access to Icy Wind. Actually, now that I think about it, Articuno might be able to benefit with that actually now. So that's pretty cool because Articuno gets access to Icy Wind, and actually it makes it so now it can actually lower the opponent's attack. So it's just an example, but any other Pokemon that have access to Icy Wind is going to be able to take advantage of that for sure too. Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon now deals less damage in trainer battles. Community Day exclusive attacks are intended to be powerful, but Hydro Cannon was too strong. So yes, Hydro Cannon in PvP has now been nerfed. So a little unfortunate, but it's all. So that's a little frustrating, but it's okay. Frustration and Return. They now take longer to charge in trainer battles and deal more damage. Since all Shadow Pokemon have access to Frustration and Return due Purifying, we wanted to make sure these attacks do not become too all-purpose. So that's cool. So they now take longer to charge. So now they require more. I think now they basically require more energy now. I think that's how it works. I'm not too sure, but I have to take a look at that in my own time. So now we have Mud Slap, which now damage from Mud Slap has now been increased in gyms, raids, and trainer battles, and that has been buffed from base 15 to base 18. So in case you guys are curious about how that is buffed, so now Mud Slap is going to be doing a more damage now. So that's pretty cool. So that means I think now Rhyperior might actually be useful, a bit more useful now. So that's actually pretty good actually. So I'm pretty excited about that. Sandtomb. When used in trainer battles, Sandtomb now charges quickly, deals less damage, and decreases your opponent's defense by 1 stage. So, Pokemon that can learn it, we have Fortress, Torterra, Garchomp, and Gliscor now able to learn Sandtomb. So that's pretty cool. So now Garchomp might actually have a little bit more use in PvP now. So, because now Garchomp gets Sandtomb. So that's actually pretty cool. I like that a lot. I'm going to have to try that out. Earthquake. Damage has been increased in gyms and raids. So, damage-wise from 120 to 140 now. So, I can't wait to see how that's going to make. So, I feel like the Mud Slap and Earthquake both being buffed means ground types may actually do a bit more damage now. So, rather in gyms and raids. In PvP, this is not really going to benefit too much. So, I think with this buff, with the damage increase, I feel like as long as the cooldown, I think, especially with Earthquake, I believe as long as the cooldown remains the same, I believe that's going to be a bit of a buff, because now, as long as the cooldown still remains the same, then that means Groudon and Garchomp are actually going to be performing a lot better now with the Earthquake buff. And I think Rhyperior may also move up a little bit in the world as well too. I could be wrong though. Like I said, I could be wrong. I'm not sure how that works, but I know the base power of Earthquake has been upped from 120, now it's up to 140. So keep that in mind in that for sure. So moving on, Overheat, Draco Meteor, and Psycho Boost. These attacks now charge up quicker in trainer battles, but they sharply decrease your own Pokemon's attack at the use. Some damage values have been adjusted down to maintain balance. So Psycho Boost so these moves are in the regular games. It makes sense because Overheat, Draco Meteor, and Psycho Boost, all of these moves in the main series games actually do decrease your special attack by 2 stages. Now they actually implemented that into Pokemon Go, so that's actually pretty cool. So they actually implemented this. So now, well, I feel like this could be a little bit of a debuff of a nerf for Psycho Boost Deoxys, but not necessarily. Considering now that when you switch out your Pokemon, the attack buffs and the defense and the attack buffs actually go away, so it's not really the end of the world actually. So I still think it's pretty cool. So I like that a lot. Close Combat. This attack now charges up quicker in trainer battles, but it sharply decreases your own Pokemon's defense after use. Again, also makes sense because in the regular games, Close Combat is a move that does a lot of damage and usually decreases your defense and special defense by 1 stage. So that's actually pretty unique. So I like that a lot for sure. So, alright, so take a quick look at these moves here. We got Night Slash that has more energy requirement, has been reduced. So that's pretty unique. Icy Wind now decreases attack. Hydro Cannon with a nerf. Frustration and Return, sorry. Take longer to charge, but now they deal more damage. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but we'll see. Mudslap now has an increased base power from 15 to 18, so that's pretty cool. Sand Tomb now charges quicker, does lesser damage, and guarantees a defense drop on your opponent by 1 stage. So that's pretty good. And Fortress, Torterra, Garchomp, and Gliscor can now gain these moves, so that's pretty cool. It means Torterra might actually be of some use a little bit more. I'm not sure if it's going to be that good, but we'll see. Earthquake, I can't wait to see how that's going to work. It just depends on the numbers. Overheat, Draco Meteor, and Psycho Boost now charge up quicker in trainer battles, but they sharply decrease your own Pokemon's attack at the use. And same with Close Combat. So there you go. So those are the changes to those moves. Now, on to the new attacks. So these are new attacks that have been added into Pokemon Go. So, here we go. Certain Pokemon will soon be able to learn attacks that have yet been seen in Pokemon Go, which currently right now they are able to access these moves as we speak. So, let's go into it. So, first off, Atazuka is now a brand new charge move. So, it's a slower charge attack that may sharply reduce your opponent's attack. And this move is learned by Artillery and Kingdra. So Kingdra with this is going to be pretty cool. I can't wait to see how that's going to work. It's a charge move that's going to have a chance to sharply reduce your opponent's attack. That's a -2 debuff on your opponent's attack if you get lucky to get it off. Mirror Shot. It's a quick charge move that may also reduce your opponent's attack. Currently, will be able to be learned by Fortress, Magnezone, Ferrothorn, and Kling Klang. Thank you. Kling Klang finally got some love with a brand new move. Now I think Kling Klang may actually be able to put in some work in PvP now. I'm happy about this. Thank you. I was pretty happy about this for the most part. I'm really happy. I was kind of disappointed that Kling Klang didn't get anything good. Now it actually has some stuff to work with. I believe Kling Klang also gets Wild Charge. I know it gets Thunder Shock as a quick move, so that's actually pretty awesome, honestly. So, again, guys, I do apologize. This video is probably going to be a bit long because there's a lot of things we need to go over in regards to all this. But I'm going to search up Kling Klang as we continue on with this video because I'm curious to know if Kling Klang does get Wild Charge as we speak. I'm not too sure. But anyway, let's continue. Fell Stinger is a quick charge attack that also increases your attack after use. So that's pretty good, actually. And Fell Stinger can be learned by Beedrill, Quailfish, Vespiquen, and Drapion. So that's also pretty cool. Sorry about that little update there, guys. But that's pretty cool that it's a move that's going to guarantee a +1 attack. So it's kind of like it's kind of like Power Punch in a way, but now for bug types. So now, I think out of all these, I think Drapion might be able to take advantage of this the most because I think this is pretty cool. I've used Drapion before in PvP, and it actually does do some work for sure. So, really excited about that. And now the next one, which I know my friend Kev, shout out to Kev, because I know he loves this Pokemon, Lucario. Aura Sphere. It's a powerful fighting type attack, and Aura Sphere can only be currently learned by Lucario, which that is amazing. I believe now this means now Lucario has moved up into the top ranks of the best fighting type Pokemon. I could be wrong, but now Lucario with this new update is going to be amazing. Honestly, it is ridiculous. I personally myself am really excited for this as well. I don't blame him for being super hyped about this because I know Lucario is his favorite Pokemon. So I know he is extremely excited about this just as much as I am. So that's pretty cool. Congrats, Kev. Your boy finally got the upgrade he deserves. That is pretty freaking awesome. Superpower has now been added into the game. It's a powerful fighting type attack that charges up quickly, but does reduce the user's attack and defense after being used. And superpower can be learned by Pinsir, Snorlax, Hariyama, Rhyperior, and Melmetal. So that's cool. Superpower is a brand new move. I wonder how that's going to look in terms of DPS and such. So depending on how that goes, we'll see. Because superpower is going to definitely be a brand new move that's going to be entered into the game, which I think is pretty cool. And in PvP, it's going to lower your attack and defense, so definitely keep that in mind. And I do apologize, guys, I was mistaken. Clank does not get Wall Charge. It gets Zap Cannon, Flash Cannon, and Hyper Beam. So just a little correction on my part there. But I think Clank will still at least put in a little bit of work now, but we'll see. Okay, so those are the new moves that have been added. I think out of all these, the one I'm most excited for myself is, of course, Aura Sphere on Lucario. And there's some other cool stuff as well, too, that's really exciting. All this, personally, is going to be pretty sweet. And it's going to be a lot of fun to mess around with for sure. But honestly, has to go to Lucario with that Aura Sphere. I'm really excited about that one for sure. I know Kevin is really excited about that as well. So, pretty happy for them. So now, the next topic we're going to go over is Pokemon that can learn more attacks. So, the following Pokemon will be able to learn attacks they couldn't before. So, let's begin. We now have Cloyster that getting access to Icy Wind. Cloyster is a defensive Pokemon, and getting access to the newly improved Icy Wind will help it fill that role even better. So that's cool. Cloyster has some really good defense for sure. So Cloyster with that is going to be a lot of fun for sure. Then next up we got Feraligatr. Now Feraligatr gets Ice Fang. By focusing on its bite, Feraligatr can stand out a bit more from the other water type first partner Pokemon. So basically the starters, basically. So Feraligatr with Ice Fang is pretty cool because now you can actually use Feraligatr as an ice attacker. So it doesn't get stabbed, but, it'll be kind of fun to mess around with for sure. Another big update. Porygon 2 and Porygon Z now get Lock On. Lock On generates energy very quickly at the cost of dealing very little damage. Porygon 2 and Porygon Z both rely on slow but strong charge attacks. Lock On should help improve the chances of using these attacks. So there you go, guys. Lock On, which you guys know, is extremely good in terms of energy gaining. So Porygon 2, Porygon Z, these two are definitely going to be picking up a lot more usability, so I cannot wait to mess around with those myself. So, pretty exciting. So, now Celebi now has access to Seed Bomb. So, Celebi is a mythical Pokemon that has the Grass type. We wanted to make sure Celebi has access to a Grass type attack. So, let me real quick. I'm making this video, I'm actually on Celebi right now as we speak. Let me see if Celebi even had access to a Grass type attack right from the start. Most likely it did not, so now it does have a Grass type move, so it's not going to make Celebi good on the Grass type at all for the most part, but for PvP I think that might be decent. That might be fun to use actually, so maybe we'll use Celebi for PvP for the Great League, so we'll see. Awesome stuff there with Niantic, so appreciate that. So Shiftry with Snarl. Access to both Razor Leaf and Snarl should let Shiftry pressure popular Ultra League Pokemon like Swampert and Giratina. So there you go. Shiftry now has access to Snarl, which if you guys don't remember, Snarl actually charges a lot of energy. So that's a pretty nice buff for a Shiftry. Can't wait to see how that's going to perform for it. This one I think kind of made me pretty excited myself. Kyogre gets Surf. Currently, Kyogre's charge attack are very slow. Surf will give it a faster charging option that matches its type. So, ladies and gentlemen, Kyogre now has access to surf. So is that going to make Kyogre a lot better? I think so, because let's think about this for example. Hydro Pump definitely takes a while to charge, and I believe its base power is 120. Surf base power is 65. So you think let's think about this for a second. Kyogre has an attack of 270. Versus Kingler that has an attack of 241 if I'm not mistaken, but has a lot of great DPS with that crab hammer, if I'm not mistaken. So I think this is definitely a fantastic change to Kyogre. So now I think Kyogre is going to perform even better. But I believe it may be roughly the same. I'm not too sure. It depends on how the simulators work. But basically, this is going to give Kyogre a chance to actually do a lot more, I think, now, because I'm honestly really excited, because Kyogre is one of my favorite Pokemon, honestly. So definitely can't wait to get my Kyogres to get surfed. But I'm not sure if it's going to be a lot better. But I do know that this is fantastic, because this means that now Kyogre is going to be able to get off more damage. So it's like, basically, if you can get off a lot more surfs than Hydro Pump, then it's like, that's going to be fantastic. But if you are able to get off 2 Hydro Pumps with a Kyogre, then that's also really good as well. I guess it depends on the situation, I guess. So if you know you're not going to be able to get off 2 Hydro Pumps, then Surface, I think, is going to be a great improvement, because at least with those, you'll be able to get off a bit more damage, and you'll guarantee at least 3 Surfs, depending on the situation. So I like this update a lot, so I'm really excited about that. Next up, we got Licky now have access to Shadow Ball. Licky is great against ghost types already, and Shadow Ball will help it even more. So there you go. Licky now has Shadow Ball. So Licky now just became a lot better, I think, personally. And in the Great League, or rather in PvP, this thing is going to be able to tear through those ghost types like hard. Then we have Tangrowth now having access to Power Whip. So that's also, I think, a bit of an improvement for Tangrowth. Let me actually look up Tangrowth as we speak. So Tangrowth should be able to use his grass type charge attacks more frequently with his powerful move. Power Whip is also a great fit for a vine covered Pokemon. That is actually very true. So before, Tangrowth's only charge move was grass type charge move was Solar Beam. Now with Power Whip, it's at least going to be able to get off a few more hits there. So that's actually a bit of an update for sure. So I'm pretty excited about that. And another update, which is pretty exciting for me personally, Heatran now gets Flamethrower. So Flamethrower should allow Heatran to more effectively combat Pokemon that are weak to his types, like Venusaur and Registeel. So this is definitely a buff, because as you guys know, Fire Blast is extremely terrible, and Heatran's only charge move at the time before this even came in was Fire Blast. Now with the update, Heatran now gets access to Flamethrower, which at least is going to make Heatran perform a lot better than what it was doing before. So that's another pretty awesome update. I can't wait to mess around with Heatran. I actually do have a 98% Heatran when Heatran was around back last year, or I think it was this year. I don't remember precisely, but either way, I'm really excited about this. Heatran is finally getting the love it deserves, so I'm really excited about that for sure. Then we got and then finally, to wrap up the new moves on Pokemon, we got Stoutland with Ice Fang. Ice Fang will help Stoutland battle differently from other normal type Pokemon with Lick. So there you go, guys. These are the new moves these are moves that these Pokemon are able to currently learn. So new moves that following Pokemon weren't able to learn before, that now they have access to. So me personally, out of all these moves, the one I'm most excited for is, of course, Kyogre with the new Surf, with its new access to Surf, and then Heatran with Flamethrower. So those two, I'm going to be messing around with that for sure. Really excited about that. And now we're down to the final part of this, and this is the most epic part out of all these. Pokemon that can learn old attacks once again. Legacy stuff. So let's read this. As part of the group of Pokemon to debut with Pokemon Go, some Pokemon originally discovered in console have had their attacks change a lot over time. We'll be adding back some of the stronger attacks a few of these Pokemon used to learn back in 2016 to make sure these attacks are eligible to players who have joined since then. We'll look at bringing back more of these attacks over time. So ladies and gentlemen, these are the following Legacy moves that are back for Gen 1 Pokemon. And I'm going to point out some stuff that's going to be really important that you're going to want to invest in for sure. Richard, if you're still watching my videos, you may want to pay attention to this because this is really important. And everybody that watches me, you definitely want to pay attention to this because this is going to be really important. So, let's begin. Arcanine now gets Flamethrower. It used to get Flamethrower back in the day. Arcanine now getting Flamethrower is not that big of a change, but at least it'll make Arcanine a decent fire attacker for the most part. So that's pretty exciting. Poliwrath gets Mud Shot, which is going to make Poliwrath fantastic in PvP for sure, because Mud Shot gives it that energy, a lot of energy quick acceleration. So you guys already know how much I love Mud Shot, because Mud Shot is fantastic. It gives me Pokemon energy. So yeah, that's pretty awesome for sure. Machamp now gets Cross Chop, which is going to be pretty good for PvP. So there you go. Machamp now gets that. Golem now gets access to Ancient Power. I believe that doesn't matter too much, but it is pretty cool to be able to get that access to Ancient Power. And I think for PvP, this might actually be pretty good. Excuse me. So I think that's a pretty fun change. And this is one of the big ones here, ladies and gentlemen. Gengar now gets access to Shadow Claw. So if you've been holding on to those Hex or Sucker Punch Gengars, ladies and gentlemen, you're now able to TM your Gengars to Shadow Claw. And Shadow Claw is one of the best quick moves that you want. That is the only quick move you want 100% on Gengar. It makes Gengar a beast in raids as a ghost attacker. So Gengar now having Shadow Claw, it is huge. And I am excited about this as well, because now people are going to be able to get access to this powerful Gengar, because Gengar with Shadow Claw is a monster. I've used it myself, and it does work. It really does work. So I'm excited about that. Then we got Executor getting access to Confusion, which is actually pretty good, because Psychic before with the last moveset update had gotten a buff. So now Executor you'll be able to access those Confusion Psychic Executors. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna personally work on a few of those myself. So that's pretty cool. Pinsir now gets Fury Cutter, which is a bit of an update, I think, because Fury Cutter gives you energy a lot faster. So Pinsir's going to be able to, you'll be able to TM that on it, so that's pretty good. Gyarados is going to now be able to access Dragon Breath and Twister. Dragon Breath, as you guys know, is fantastic in PvP. Twister, if I'm not mistaken, is a Fire Bar charge move that does 25. But what's cool about it is that you'll be able to get it off super consistently. It's ridiculous. So that's pretty exciting as well. And then we got Snorlax with Body Slam. So you're able to get Snorlax with Body Slam on Snorlax. And that's going to be fantastic for both PvP and for gym defense. So if you drop Snorlax in gyms, you definitely want to have those with Body Slam, because that's going to be fantastic in that regards. And then finally, another big one right here. Dragonite now gets Dragon Breath and Dragon Claw. So there you go, guys. Those are the legacy moves that are now back. You're able to teach your Pokemon these moves, so definitely take advantage of this now, especially with Gengar with Shadow Claw. Richard, if you're watching this. So that's pretty exciting stuff. I'm really hyped about this. We're excited to see the teams you build with these changes, trainer. Stay tuned as we're sharing more updates like these in the future. Good luck on the battlefield. So there you go, guys. Honestly, guys, that is a lot. That is a lot of amazing updates. Yeah, we got legacy moves. Pokemon that have access to new moves as well, which is pretty exciting. And yeah, guys, this is just awesome, honestly. So yeah, definitely want to get to work on TM these attacks on the Pokemon right away, because these are going to be fantastic for sure. So yeah, there you have it, guys. Those are the new changes to the moves. Definitely have fun with these for sure. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with these for sure myself, and this may have made me want to go PvP more. So there you go, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I do apologize for this video being super long, but there was a lot to go over, and we had to make sure that it was all well covered in this video. So I'm hyped, guys. I know you guys are hyped too, for sure. So yeah, it's time to go have some fun. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments below what you're most excited for in regards to this move update, honestly. So this is an amazing update. I cannot wait to mess around with these. And with that, I'm out of here. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.